Welcome Capricorn, this is Regina from Pacific Tarot getting ready to do your new moon in Scorpio reading. I have laid out the African Tarot. I will clarify with the Crow Tarot and finish up with a couple of Oracle cards. I welcome all of you, including those of you that are new and especially those that are with me often. If you're finding that you enjoy this reading as we move through, please like this video. Please share it with others who might find it useful. Please comment below. I enjoy reading your thoughts, your appreciations, and any feedback. And subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. The new moon actually occurs on November the 13th, so that this is specific to that time. However, all tarot reading is timeless, so this should serve you whenever you find it. So your overall energy, Capricorn, is the Nine of Pentacles, and this feels like a very Capricorn card for me. This indicates financial, economic independence. It represents your ability to build your own garden, to create your own garden and enjoy the rewards of it. This is about your stability, your security, your comfort, your protection. And this is you making sure that you are claiming your territory and providing luxury and pleasure within its confines. You also are in a place where you can invest. You can continue to invest in your own prosperity or in other opportunities for abundance. But this is about your ability to not undermine the resources you already have so that you are not risking anything in your generosity. And this ultimately gives you a tremendous sense of satisfaction and with the ability to give back. In the 10th house, the house of your social identity, the way others see you, the Two of Cups is such a beautiful card of speaking and being in relationship with your higher self, speaking from that place of acknowledging your own potential, no matter what your experience has been, that you are remembering your dreams and you are activating those through balancing the relationship with yourself that allows you to connect that deeply to your higher self. And this is something that is reflected and felt in all of your relationships. Others feel the sense of possibility and growth and openness, but also explicit agreement in all relationships regarding an equitable flow of giving and receiving. This is you being able to connect deeply with yourself and with others around the things you have in common. This is not about being exactly the same or agreeing to do everything together. It's about respecting the integrity of each individual in any relationship and allowing for an unconditional support for that, at least in authentic desire. In the first house, we have the Devil card. Another card that's often associated with you. This is about your perspective, and this has been coming up a lot for others. This is you really setting a clear structure around the efforts, all the efforts that you make, so that you are pursuing your own authentic needs, those needs that address your concern, those desires that pursue the abundance you are deserving of. This takes you away from a place where you are conforming to the needs or the expectations of others, and helps you to understand that that conformity was actually your own responsibility and what has kept you from a sense of liberation, the sense of being bounded to what other people wanted or needed or expected, has kept you perhaps in a place of conformity, no matter what it looks like on the outside, so that you are able to see clearly that all of your efforts must be directed at pursuing the things that you desire. In the fourth house, this is the house of your home, your soul, your family, your roots. The Knight of Wands is really this passionate, energized exploration of your desires, what those desires are. Because if you're true to the experience of many Capricorns, even knowing what you want is a journey. Even coming to a place of having desires is something that may have come as a surprise that you were not aware. And this undoubtedly not only has it impacted your work, but it's impacted your relationships. It's held you back in relationships where it has been difficult for you to name and stand for what you desire, not just what the needs of another person were, and fashioning yourself into the caretaker. This is the impulsive, creative, heart-centered place that recognizes and makes space for spiritual connectedness, creative opportunity in relationships, joining on a journey or an adventure together. In the seventh house of your significant relationships, and that includes not only people, persons, but also your goals, is the Justice card. And this is ultimately about the beautiful balance that you are able to seek in understanding what resources and power you hold and how that is best shared with others in a way that does not exploit or deprive you, take advantage of you, which may have been your experience in many relationships. You so willing, so capable to provide all that is needed for other people to be happy or successful has often gone at the cost of your articulating or even knowing what your needs are, a fear of exercising your desires or needs for fear that that would risk a rejection from others, standing up for what you want, feeling undesired. This is something you balanced out through this very powerful relationship you have prioritized with yourself, where you provide yourself with the love, with the attention, with the support that you need based on the desires and goals that you now are able to articulate and identify for yourself. In the first house, the Devil card is clarified by the Seven of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles. You know, the Seven of Swords has been coming up for a lot of people, and this is about the kind of sabotage, resistance that you may have met in a variety of environments, particularly where you are claiming a new set of values, a new set of resources, pursuing abundance, something that others perceive you as empowering others with, not necessarily having or deserving it for yourself. You're countering that. You're realizing that that has actually blocked you in the past, even if unconsciously. You were not necessarily always aware that you were ceding, that you were conforming to other people's needs and ideas of what you should be doing. You did it because you thought it was the right thing to do. You're now realizing the right thing to do is the development of yourself, your own skills, your own talents, the improving of yourself in a way that will guarantee any opportunity you have will be met by your preparedness to maximize that opportunity, to know exactly what to do when success comes along, understanding intrinsically that that's where the real work begins. So you who have always worked so hard on behalf of others are understanding that this is a talent and a skill you must marshal for yourself. And this is what ensures your success, not the permission of others. The Knight of Wands in the fourth house is clarified by the Eight of Cups in the fifth house and the Ten of Wands in the sixth house. I do see your understanding that it is time for you to move away from those relationships that are deep, are powerful in your life, but that have disappointed you repeatedly. And understanding that by moving away from those relationships, gaining all that you can is not about dumping or getting rid of those relationships. It's about moving on to the challenge that you know is critical for your journey, your mission, your purpose, the challenge that you are now ready to mount in a way that may have eluded you in the past. You may have been afraid of the rejection, afraid of the failure, ironically, that you've experienced over and over again in providing success to others, not believing that it was yours. Those you now realize were a form of failure. This is providing you with a lot of the ability and desire to release all of these old values, expectations, ideas, opinions, words, needs of other people that don't belong to you. And in many ways, this may feel like a further isolation, but to the purpose of your own independence, this is actually really a big release of impacting your body. And I wouldn't be surprised if many of you are experiencing several levels of detoxification, healing, cleansing at many levels that impact your body, so that you must be cautious physically as you enter and transition into what is clearly a new lifestyle, a new life, as a result of the changes that you're making and the investments you're making in yourself. The Justice card in the seventh house is clarified by the Nine of Pentacles, a repeat, a lovely repeat in the eighth house, and the Nine of Swords in the ninth house. Wow, this is 3 nines on the table, although 2 of them are a repeat. So you've peaked at a certain level when it comes to not only your independent economic independence, your financial stability on your own terms, but also in terms of the suffering and pain that you have allowed to manifest, ruminate, recycle in your dreams and your thoughts in your life forever. There's almost a sense that you couldn't control the ruminating thoughts of failure, disappointment, anger, resentment that you felt to all those who you wanted to blame, knowing full well that if any blame is to be assigned, and blame is rarely supportive of a solution, but it is to yourself, taking responsibility for the fact that you're the only person who's been standing in your way. You're the only person who's been giving your power away repeatedly. And you've been beating yourself up about that for a long time, while at the same time you're really interrogating the beliefs that led you to believe that that was the way to be, that you were being a good person. And undoing that, realizing that in many ways you were being used and exploited, and that you let it happen repeatedly. You stepped aside and let other people take credit for work you had done, as an example. The Two of Cups in the 10th house is clarified by the Four of Wands in the 11th house and the Ace of Cups in the 12th house, indeed. So out of all this, and I hope it doesn't sound like I'm beating you up, Capricorn, as a Capricorn, I perhaps have a very clear view of how this has been operating in your life as a function of your own deep healing, the deepest self-love, the deepest self-respect that you've been able to activate in your life as the result of the lessons you've learned has been this attention to who you are, what you need, and what you desire. The culmination of your talents. You've worked so long and hard to create a positive community for the advancement of the entire community. It is time you include yourself in that. So I do see so many beautiful cultural alliances that you form, social alliances, in theory, ways that you are recognizable to others as a teacher, as a mentor, as a supporter of all things that are important to changing our worlds, our own worlds, in a way that impacts the larger globe. And this is right to the heart of who you believe yourself to be and the very energy you're activating in your life. The most impactful change you feel at this point you can be in the world is by honoring your talents, pursuing the wealth, the abundance, the prosperity that you deserve. I'm going to pull a Soul's Journey card and remind you that you can like, share, comment on, and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. And I've pulled loneliness. I know that I am never alone. So this so much resonates with, I believe, the fears that we as Capricorns often have, and yet our ability, our strength in many ways. And I'm also pulling a Language of Flowers cards, and I've pulled the Jonquil, and the key word is power. Take hold of what you know is yours. On that note, Capricorn, thank you so much for this beautiful reading. Until next time, namaste.